That we truly have been very particular in choosing our panelists. The idea for us is we just don't want somebody who will just come and tell us some theoretical things. We brought professionals, we brought people who are in practice. And so they brought that we truly have been very particular in choosing our panelists. The idea for us is we just don't want somebody who will just come and tell us some theoretical things. We brought All right, before we go into the next session, what I'm going to do right now is to celebrate certain people who have made today happen for us. In my opinion, it's very, very important that we celebrate them. Okay, we're going to do more introduction, no wahala. But let me just quickly mention the Lagos State Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. They've been such a great support for this event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help us celebrate Lagos State Ministry of Culture and Tourism. It's also important that we celebrate the Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation. They have been such a support. They've really, really shown us, giving us their back. They've made sure that everything we ask of them, they've made available for us. Please help us celebrate Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation. Please help us celebrate them, please. It's also important to celebrate the National Park Service. They have also been wonderful. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you can see them in uniform. Help us celebrate the National Park Service. Celebrate them, please. Thank you. We also have some industry partners here. They have been such a support. We can't thank them enough. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help us celebrate SCOR International Nigeria. Help us celebrate Association of Tourism Practitioners of Nigeria. Help us celebrate the Institute of Tourism Practitioners of Nigeria. Please help us celebrate the National Association of Nigeria Travel Agencies. Help us celebrate Beach Samaritans. Now, some people took what we, thank you so much, Beach Samaritans. Some people took what we call the platinum support, and it's important that we especially celebrate them. I'll appreciate if your clap for these people is special, because these people have really done well. I've not called their name yet, though. The first name is South African Airways. Nigeria Tourism Awards. Walk and Play. Avant-Garde Tours. Aventin. Spedis MFR. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is tourism. We have here, just walking in, my own very Egbon, who lives in Abuja and I live in Lagos. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the Director General of Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation, Mr. Folorunsho Shokuka. I particularly like this, your danshiki is very fine. You're welcome, sir. Okay. I need to do this very, very special introduction. I got the card whilst I was introducing everyone. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm suspecting is him because he has his marks on. I probably didn't see his face very well. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to our means the Chairman and Chief Executive of Awori Tourism, Prince Femi Fadino. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for coming. I'm told that we also have the General Manager for Tourism Board, Delta State, Mrs. Josephine Ogbolu. Thank you so much, madam. I'd introduced you before, but then I didn't know your name. So thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you. Thanks for coming early. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I'm going to be doing today is asking you one or two questions that I was told that you will get prizes for. I'm going to do that starting from now. I want you to tell me, not now, just think about it. I'm going to ask you that question later. Your best tourist site in Nigeria. And you're going to tell me why. Now, some people are going to help us judge. And if you're able to convince us that truly that is the best tourist site in Nigeria, and you have a cogent reason for that, then I'm told you will get a prize. I'd like to quickly run through the gold level of our support. We've just done the platinum, and I think it's important I quickly go through that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me celebrate Wave Beach. I told you before that that is what I need. You will help me. I'll stand properly and more confident here if I hear those claps. I would also want you to please help me celebrate Loving Lagos. I want you to help me celebrate Hura by Transcorp. We've just done the platinum, and I think it's important. Scar International Nigeria, La Liga, Inside Watch Africa, Skyview Communications, Nene Uwa, Grand Synopsis, Metro DMC, Angel Style Travels, Vector Travels, Dinkier, Vis, Business Travel Management, Bridge One Essential. Now, it is time to call on stage this young man. Can anybody help me fetch Efe? Is he around? Efe, I want to call you on stage right now. We need to get this done. Okay. I'd like to call on stage right now for his opening remarks. This young man who, in all the difficulties that everybody sees in doing this, he saw the possibilities. He said he was doable, and he's been doing this for the past 5 years. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the convener of Nigeria Travel Week, Mr. Efe Tobor.
Good morning. Okay, so I'm grinning from ear to ear because we have all the people who matter in this hall at this point in time. I'd like to say thank you so very much, sir, the DG NTDC. From the very first day in 2017 that we approached you and spoke to you about Nigeria Travel Week, you have always given your blessing, and you have always continued to support us. And to see you also physically present here, also knowing how much you have traveled in the past few days and weeks, we cannot but say, with all from the bottom of our heart, thank you very much, sir. We really do appreciate your presence. I want to say thank you as well to all of our special guests. Right next to the DG of NTDC, the Chairman Awori Tourism, Prince Femi Fadino. We appreciate you. Then the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. We have the, please pardon me, I'm not used to all of these protocols, but of course we have to do them. I'm so excited, and so pardon me if I miss if there's a particular sequence I was supposed to have done this. So I'm appreciating the Director, Domestic Tourism, Mrs. Patricia Narai, who is here represented by Mr. Sunday. Thank you very much, sir. We will also be appreciating the presence of the CG, the Conservator General of National Park Service, Dr. Ibrahim Goni, who is here represented by the ACG, Mr. Abong. Thank you so very much, sir. I remember your last visit to Lagos and how you have continued to support us from 2019 when the park first participated in Nigeria Travel Week. Yes, so we have the MD of Cross River State Tourism Bureau, Mr. John Atsu, who flew in yesterday night for this. Thank you so very much. I know we have a delegation from Ogun State Tourism who are on their way. We have a delegation from Benue State Tourism as well, who are also on their way. We are living in very exciting times. And I'd like to say with so much joy in our heart that we're so thrilled as we commence the 5th edition of Nigeria Travel Week. Now, these past 20 months have been very trying. We have all had to cope with the devastation that COVID brought about. And then what this also taught us is the importance of social gatherings like this one. Remember those months, those weeks and months when we had to be holed up in our houses. You could not say hello to your neighbors. And thankfully, even though we're still wearing our face masks and still taking more alcohol than we used to, your sanitizers and all of that, we are at least better off than brought about we were last year. And we hope that in the next few months we'll be able to get back to normal, because tourism really is about social interactions. Like we know the tourism fraternity, we're about hugging ourselves and all of that. Now, the devastation that all of the pandemic has brought about has been massive. However, it also came with it a silver lining. Nigerians have found out that, look, we can travel around Nigeria. So in the past few months, there's been a lot more travel, domestic travel. I remember some of the experiences shared by some of our close hoteliers, like the Radisson Blue Anchorage, for example, who used to be a business hotel and found it difficult to sell their weekend rooms. So, yeah, their rooms were not, they didn't have good occupancy on the weekends. Right now, all days, whether it's the weekdays or weekends, are sold out because now Nigerians must travel. That also emphasizes the importance of the industry that we are in. Tourism, like they say, is life. And so people have that natural, innate desire to travel, to look at other, to see how others are living, to experience other cultures, to experience food, clothing, and everything that makes us us. Now, before I go into a long talk, I would just like to quickly round up and say we're so happy to have all of you in this hall. It shows all of the love and passion that you have for domestic tourism, and we do believe that we are at a very critical time in our lives as a country, and that in our lifetime, Nigeria will be one of the greatest tourism countries in the world. I want you all to remember that Nigeria Travel Week is not just an event, but it is actually a movement. And we're so happy to have your support, and we want to promise that we'll continue to do all that we can, with your help, of course, to spread this message, this campaign, to preach to all Nigerians the importance of domestic tourism. There is no reason why our brothers and sisters and friends in different parts of Nigeria should go hungry. Because in every local government in Nigeria, all 774 local governments, there is a tourism attraction. And God created it this way so that what you have around you should be able to provide for you. So there's no reason. Do we know that we are in waterfall paradise. So I don't know how many countries in the world have over 100 waterfalls. So you can take that from this meeting today. Nigeria is one of the very few countries in the world where we have over 100 waterfalls. That is something to brag about. That is something to make money from. That is something to create employment from. And so please continue to help us spread this message and let's grow tourism in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Welcome to Nigeria Travel Week 2021.
Thank you so much. Please, can we have a better round of applause for the convener? Thank you so much. That was a beautiful one from him, Mr. Efetubo, Ambassador. Thank you so much. Right away, we're going to the next program, and it's exciting to tell you all that there's no other person that is here other than the DG NTDC, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation. I always call him His Excellency DG Folonsho Koka. We're having him here to come and do the official opening remark at this point in time, please. DG sir, please can you come up stage? Thank you so much. As he's coming in, let me introduce myself. I'm Honorable Fidelia Salami. I'm the co-MC for this event today. And I'd say welcome to this event. Thank you so much. You're all looking so beautiful. Thank you, welcome. DG sir, thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. I think it's better we, as the people who are supposed to sell joy and happiness, I will usually dispense with a lot of the protocols and have some sort of interactive session. I didn't know I was supposed to speak here. I was just even reading my speech for the Southwest or Southeast Stakeholders Conference coming up tomorrow, when I was informed that I should make the opening remarks. I can't honestly stand here and just make opening remarks considering what we have endured. I'm talking about the pandemic. I remember sitting down in this hall enjoying many weddings where it was so packed they were passing plates of rice over our heads to get to the next table. Look at it now. Look at how much space we have created. Look at how we have had to reimagine, not rethink, not adjust, reimagine our lives. Your business, my responsibility. It's about people moving from place to place to enjoy new experiences. It was almost as if COVID was specifically designed to harm our businesses. But we cannot look at COVID and dwell absolutely on the negativities of COVID. COVID has made us realize certain things. How insignificant some of us are, how insignificant our businesses are, and what we must do to adjust to survive in the new, there's no post-COVID, it's going to be life with COVID. COVID happened to everybody. Dubai, stand still. South Africa, stand still. Kenya, stand still. Everybody is recovering. And your recovery strategies are so important if you are to survive. If you are a hotel owner, partner with an airline owner, half your advertising costs. Most of us here were brought up pen and paper. But the reality of today is that it is no longer pen and paper. This is where the new world exists. I'll briefly just say some things I have been saying for about 5 years, starting to sound like a broken record. First of all, the digital revolution that has come after the communications revolution, that has come after the banking revolution, that has come after the oil revolution, is your revolution, because it is no longer travel and tour. No. There's 3 T's, and the new T is technology. You must adopt technology, appropriate technology. Let me put it this way. Remember when we used to stand on the streets of Lagos waiting for a yellow taxi, to hail that yellow taxi down, to tell him where you are going, to price it under the hot sun. Today, inside here, I don't have to talk to anybody. I can order a taxi, pay for the taxi. He knows my destination. He doesn't even get lost. Uber Maps will take him there. That is what technology has to offer the tourism industry. We must embrace it. To those in positions of constituted authority, as well as the private sector, in Dubai today, a man with an unmarried couple can stay in the same hotel room. They changed the laws post-COVID. In Dubai today, the alcohol laws are a lot more relaxed. They changed it to support their post-COVID recovery. Now, COVID affected everybody. Some people have used it to look at some very simple things like corporate governance. What are the laws? How old are the laws? Are the laws applicable to what we are supposed to be doing now to recover in this industry? The regulation, the taxation, the legislature. Everything should be about making business easier for people within the industry, not adding new taxes. And I stand openly on that. It's not about new taxation, there's enough. We have new international trade agreements coming up. Signing some in South Africa, subscribe to Africa. Are we going to be a victim of those new trade agreements? Are the trade agreements that we're already subscribing to, are we putting this new trade agreement straight on top of those because those ones already have problems? We must standardize. I'm also pleased to announce that the United Nations World Tourism Organization is accepting Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation back as an affiliate member on the 1st or 2nd of December in Madrid. It means that the UNWTO can directly interact with NTDC and start to assist with things like grading of hotels, inspection of hotels, setting standards that everybody else has and we still don't. It means it can help us with our tourism satellite account, that we need to measure what we're doing right. You know, if you don't get a feedback, if you don't measure, how do you know that you've taken the right decisions? The human capital requirements, the training that is required for you to work in the hospitality and entertainment industry has changed. Training is a very important component of what we do. They say we don't have a maintenance culture. We have a maintenance culture when it's something we care about. But we've got to deepen that maintenance culture and that service orientation that will allow us to actually grow this industry. Without training, and I'm not talking about university degrees, there's too much emphasis on those academic qualifications. I'm talking about 6 months vocational degrees in how to be a barman, how to be a doorman, simple stuff that elevates our game from this. It's not A. If it's a B, it's a struggling B. And it pains me to grade our own businesses and establishments like this, but it is the truth that we need to invest in training. Everybody talks about infrastructure. I don't know how many African countries or even European countries, some of us have been, I've been to quite a few, and honestly, our infrastructure, some of it is bad, but a lot of it is not bad. And there are places that have less infrastructure than this country that are doing the business of tourism so well. So why can't we just do the best with what we have now? It is in doing the best with what we have that we will generate the revenues that will help us improve on what we have. All our events have changed. This hall would have been packed to the brim. I don't know what's going to happen to the Durbar or Shogbo. In some places, they're going back into lockdown. COVID is back. So we must look at our events and especially how we marketed it, how we're going to market it. I note that this event was a total success in terms of digital marketing. And again, it speaks to this issue of paper and phone. I cannot put this paper in all your hands in 5 minutes. But if I had your telephone number, I could WhatsApp it to you all in a second. You will all get it like that. Now, that instantaneous world that is what we live in is what you must adopt. You must improve your advertising. You must indulge in a little advertising spend. You must push your message out there. It is your message, the quality of the message that you send out there, that gets somebody up and says, this is interesting. I want to go and see Oshogo. We've been forced to look at domestic tourism. Nigeria is the cheapest holiday for me. I don't have to roam my phone. I don't have to get a visa. I don't have to change my hard-earned naira into US dollars. And at the end of the day, what can I get for $1 in Nigeria? $1 is 500 and something naira. If I enter that mama put around the corner, at least there's rice, there's beans, and if I'm even careful, I can even add one Coca-Cola, not a small stout to it. That's 500 naira. Take $1 to McDonald's. It's half a burger. That's your best bet, half. So the value of your naira that you earn so hard here is best enjoyed here. Even if you catch COVID, they will isolate you in your house, not in some foreign hospital. God forbid, nobody will catch COVID here. I notice that the only response I get is to prayer. We are such a prayerful people. We must do some more than praying. We've got to take some proactive steps. Tourism needs money. Tourism needs inexpensive money. If we don't change the laws that govern tourism in Nigeria, money will always shy away from tourism because they don't see it as a business. If you look at the components of tourism, you will see it's a business. If you look at the transportation, the hospitality, the entertainment, it's a business. But until the laws in Delta State, in Cross River State, in Lagos State change to create a friendly environment for the components of tourism to thrive, we will always have this depreciating business. I know this is a welcome address, I don't want to read too much into what I am going to say in Enugu tomorrow. But I must speak about something, which is the power of the digital to you. Look at how many webinars you've attended. Look at how many Zoom calls you've attended. All those technologies, those disruptive technologies, are taken away from your day-to-day business. Our business is about people gathering together, moving from place to place. Now, those people who have event centers, Zoom webinars have taken away what people would come to you to do before. Now you can sit down there with your baseline, of course, of rent, generator, staff, etc. Or you can start to create your own events. If you own an event center, nothing stops you from calling the local artist to come and exhibit art or do a hairdressing competition or call local designers, aggregate people into a big space and call local designers to come and sell their wares. Create a brand out of your asset, your event center, and try and, if you don't do the best with what you have, if you don't collaborate, if you don't copy, survival becomes an issue. And if that is what you are facing, chances are very slim. Don't run away from social media. Social media has been used to attack me a few times. I'm still surviving. But don't run away from it. If you don't occupy your digital space, somebody will populate it with what you don't want for you. If all you push out into digital space is the negative, sensational, rubbish that goes around so often, the platforms that will help you echo it belong to them, not to us. So if you say there's an outbreak of special branch of COVID that happens here, they will help you amplify it. I mean, how many people have died of COVID in Nigeria compared to the United Kingdom? Our COVID mortality rates are so low that it should be an asset to our tourism industry. I don't want to go too far from home. I don't want to be locked down far from home. So domestic tourism will enjoy the first boom. It has even started already. More people are moving to locations in Nigeria and enjoying themselves here than the focus abroad. Yes, if you say 1 million people died in America and I gave you a free ticket to go to the States, yes, you'll jump on an aircraft and go. But there are people who are looking at the reverse, and that reverse is what we must encourage. I want to speak about the organizers of this event. I've never met a more stubborn man. Come, stand. I want to address you, stand. Please stand, please stand. Come and stand here, come and stand, right here. Right there. I have never met a more stubborn and tenacious man in my life. This man harassed me to a standstill when I was commissioner in Lagos, followed me to Abuja. For 4 years, he was on my case that you are going to be my partner for this thing. I mean, by this year, I thought he would be tired. Next thing, he shows up again with this elaborate. Honestly, if he can do this, everybody needs to take a lesson from him. Well done, fantastic. In our first year, just sliding out of COVID, you're still able to do it. And I look at what you've done, and I see some of the things my colleagues do. It doesn't have to be big and noisy with no content or quality to it. This sets the standard, and I'm going to put my foot in it. Next year, I'm going to give you some money so that you don't have to do this alone. We all need to recognize that this is the model. This is the future, both in the state level, in the federal level. It's the little SMEs like this that drive and galvanize people and yank them out of their comfort zone to come up here and do with him what he's been asking to do. I'm grateful for the invitation again, and I will. Sorry, the Nigerian Tourism Awards. You can't use the name Nigerian without the permission of the federal government of Nigeria. So the Nigeria Tourism Awards is a collaborative effort between NTDC with my endorsement. So the award he gives you here today, is like NTDC is giving you an award. We also have an NTDC award ceremony where I will co-opt you to come and do exactly the same thing so I don't have to suffer too much. And then we will give out awards together. I thank you all very much, and I wish you a successful World Tourism, Nigeria Tourism Week. And I'm not going to run away. I'm going to stay here for a while. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm so elated. Please, can we have another round of applause for the DJ? Thank you so much. Ambassador Efetubo, kudos. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Can we continue with a round of applause while he goes to his seat? Thank you. We're going to have an opening remark said by no other person but Mrs. Narai of the NTD. Mrs. Narai, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Abuja, is ably represented here today by no other person but Mr. Sunday Bisong. He's coming on stage to do the opening remarks, please. Thank you so much. You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Good morning. DG of MTDC. Please, sir, you permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I'm here to represent the Director of Domestic and Ecotourism, Mrs. Patricia Narai. Indeed, she would have loved to be here physically, but because of another pressing assignment, she has asked me to come here and represent her. She was so much interested when she received this letter inviting her to come, because she knows very well that tourism is driven by the private sector. The government is just there to create the enabling environment for the private sector to start the business. So she's well pleased, and by extension, the minister is also well pleased to send her to come. So this is what she said I should tell you, that even though she did not come in physically, she's here in spirit. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Please, another round of applause, please. I don't know whether you understand the person that just gave the opening remarks. We're talking about the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Information, Culture, and Tourism. That's Mr. Sunday Bisong representing Mrs. Narai, also representing no other person but the Minister for Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. So please, another round of applause. Thank you so much. We are going to have a session here. Please, you need to come up stage. Thank you. Thank you so much. I actually want him to compare that session. You take it.
Once again, I'd like to thank the DG, because what just happened is a very, very special thing. I mean, what has just happened is all of a sudden, that thing that we started in the Koro has now gotten a Nigeria endorsement. And I think it's something that we need to specially recognize. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let us celebrate the fact that Nigeria Tourism Award is now approved from the federal. Let's celebrate, please. And we thank you, sir, for making this happen. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's several other keynote addresses, but because of the way we want to do this, we want it to be very exciting. So I'd like to call right to the podium the person who is going to give us, is actually our special guest, and is going to give us a keynote address. He's titled it Destination Marketing and Branding for States and DMOs. I know this man very well. He's a brand person. He's branded from top to toe. He's branded from inside out. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me celebrate Mr. Jide Adeyemi. Please celebrate him, please. Let's celebrate him.
Welcome him now. Go and bring him up. Thank you so much. Please, we need another round of applause for him, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I recognize the convener of this, the Nigerian Travel Week, Mr. Efetobo. And I say thank you very much for this invitation. I recognize the DG of the Nigerian Tourism Development Council, all the special guests and people that are promoting Nigeria in this hall. I want to say that I'm quite excited to be here this morning, and it gives me a lot of joy to come and share my thoughts with us. When I got the invitation, I was wondering why me, of all the people that does travel and tourism. I run a brand management firm. I don't run a tourism firm, even though a lot of people call me every other time. Jide, I want to buy a ticket. I'm going here. What should I do and all that? So maybe after this, I'll consider joining your industry. So what I do is to do referral for people, some of those who are here, because I've been privileged to see the world, done 54 countries and still counting, and I'm hoping that I can do more. This morning, I just want to share my thoughts as it concerns what everybody here is doing to push this country, to promote Nigeria as a tourist destination, and to ensure that we make Nigeria more attractive to the world. I'm not going to be telling us this morning about how we can increase the foreign direct investment, which we all know. I will not be looking at how much Mauritius make from tourism, but I'm going to share my thoughts and then challenge every one of us that are in this industry so that we can do better for the country. Just a moment, please. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to quickly start by introducing myself. My name is Jide, father's name is Adeyemi, so I can be called Jide Adeyemi. There's this icon that represents me. The black circle shows the fact that from Ninu Kokodudu is where my Kofunfun came out from. All the stars around it shows all I have gone through in life, the honors, and then the shade, all that I've suffered to get to where I am. I was born some 45 years ago. I'm from Ibadan. My grandfather liked to introduce our house as Agbole Olatubosun compound. Agbole is the same as compound, but because he's educated, he likes to talk about it as Agbole Olatubosun compound. I've been privileged to go to school here and there, and privileged to work with a whole lot of organizations, work with Nokia, work with Huawei, work with Insights, and a couple of that. I have 3 kids. One of them is as old as my age. Without these 3 guys, I probably would be traveling around the world. And like I always tell people, if traveling was free, you will never see me again. One of the things that gives me joy is to move around the world. I travel for no reason. And my travel career started, grew up in Itire-Jesha, so I would stay at Celeb bus stop, and you hear Wema, 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 and I jump on the bus. What's happening in Wema? You know, on my way to Wema, I think it was 5 naira, and I had 5 naira to come back. Then I realized that it was 5 naira to Mile 2, then 5 naira to Yanotire. So I have to walk my way from Mile 2 down home. And that started my journey of going around the world. I've been to Burkina Faso by road, done Togo by road, mentioned it, Côte d'Ivoire by road, and all of those places. Because I just enjoy to move around the world. I read a lot of books. I'm very passionate about Nigeria. And I believe strongly that somewhere around the world, somebody's going to play a game called Nigeria Visa Lottery someday. You know why? People want to beg to come to this country. And when my friends come, they struggle to go back. But it can happen if only we are intentional about promoting this country. It will happen if we are intentional about what we do. So adventure is that thing that drives me. So I've done all sorts of adventure before. I can count as many adventure that I've done in my life. I was privileged to go hang gliding in Brazil, and I started with fear. At some point, I became very courageous. Now, here is me talking about myself, and if anyone would talk about me, they probably would say the same thing. Maybe they would say Jide likes orange that I did not mention. But then I struggle with how we describe Nigeria. So when people talk about Lagos, a lot of people talk about the nightlife. People talk about the jollof rice. You talk about the traffic. You talk about how warm we are. Some people even tell you when you are coming to Nigeria, be careful, they will steal your things. One of the things I want the government to do is to help us in marketing this country in such a way that you and I can say the same thing. But even the phrase Niger, there is no particular logo that says this is how to ride the Niger. Check it around the world. Every country that does this, they have a way of doing it. Some of those things, we are not intentional about it, and we don't do all of those things. I believe it's a wonderful word, and my passion is God family, big and bold. Now, let's jump into destination branding. One of the worry I have about Nigeria, and I wish I could have a chat with the DG, is to say, what is that icon that represents this country? When you say Nigeria, and then you are going to post a picture out there. So it is Eiffel Tower for France. It is the Statue of Liberty for the US, even US beyond New York. Now, different countries have different icons that represent them. Even as simple as Lagos, we struggle with what icon represents Lagos. If you notice in recent time, there is this icon that everybody uses now. Even the movies use it. Any idea, anybody? Lekki Ikoyi Bridge. And we move from National Theatre, and then we jump into, what's that building on Ozumbamba Diwe now? Civic Center. So we kept jumping. At some point, the icon for Lagos at some point was the Molwe. Today, we have Face Out Molwe. So our description is almost becoming confusing to us. Somebody had argued that the National Gate in Abuja is the icon for Nigeria. And some people said a lot of people don't even know it. A lot of people have not experienced it. So destination marketing, destination branding, it's something that describes who we are, that try to explain our story, that try to tell the Nigerian story. And then there are different icons from different around the world. We have not been able to put one down. I tell you today, if we have an icon like this out there and you have 1,000 pieces, we will almost sell everything today. Because Nigerians like to identify with Nigeria. If anybody is here, you are selling that Nigerian pain, you will make good money. But then if we have an icon, I like the Malaysian icon, and I like what they say about Malaysia. They say, truly Asian. Malaysia decided to own the entire Asia in their story. And what you see when you go to Malaysia is that all through and through, every bit of it, airports, the food, everything, talks about different parts of Asia. So this is some of the things that we have not been intentional about as a country. Because we are supposed to talk about what is the strongest part of our country. What is that thing that is most appealing to the visitors? What is that story that is the biggest of all? I tell anybody, the biggest Nigerian story is resilience. The fact that we can say that it go better even when you don't have a job. The fact that you believe strongly that you can move from where you are in life into another point. How do we weave that story into the Nigerian story and stop all of those adverts that brings President Olusegun Obasanjo and then sit somewhere and talk about Nigeria? But then when you tune in and you see the story of South Africa on CNN, you almost want to jump and want to go there. And I tell you, a lot of these guys, they don't have what we have. Maybe we have not showcased it enough. Maybe we have not expressed it in a bigger way. But the truth is that the total experience that visitors take away, it is that thing that forms it. So there's so many examples around the world that I can look at, but I will skip it and talks about what is the importance. Why do people choose a destination? Why would you want to go to Olumoro? What is that thing that is taking you to Erinjesha Waterfall? What is the reason for saying I want to go and see what is this suspended lake? After I saying, Ado Awaye. Ado Awaye is so huge, but nobody is telling that story. And as many of you guys in this hall who are telling the story, you do not have the capacity to tell the story because government need to support you in telling the story. But then here, government will think that government is funding your business. So it is important for us that we must increase our tourism in such a way that it is attractive to people. The marketing of the destination is based on the concrete experience. What is that experience? What are the services? I told one of the managers of the malls in Nigeria, I said, our malls are boring. And the reason why our malls are boring is simple. When you go to our malls, the best thing you do is to go buy something. So, people of God, everybody sitting here, how many of us go into Dubai Mall because you want to buy? The experience is countless. You can be in Dubai Mall from morning till night and not do something twice. Check it out. You can go look at the dancing water. I've forgotten what they call the thing. You know, and it even have time. You can go into the aquarium. You can do the ski. The experience is very huge. Such a way that you can go there for photo hops. So the question is, when we develop our home malls, how do we do it in such a way that we take away that experience from it? And that is part of the reasons why our tourism destinations are not as attractive as they should be. And I'm going to give example of that before I stop my session. So we have to be resilient. One of the biggest strengths, like I've mentioned, is resilience. And there are so many inspiring stories. I could talk about how South Africa increased the tourism footfall, how they moved from getting people to spend $10,000 a week coming to South Africa from spending over $100,000. What is that thing that they did that makes this attractive? Somebody did shared the data and said what's that thing called now? The Mandela statue at Sandton Mall. It attracts minimum of 7,000 people a day that comes there and take picture. And as they take the picture, the DG was talking about technology, they share it. The more you share, the more you talk about the country. The more you share, the more you talk about the country. So it gives a whole lot of how they improve distribution. One of the things I challenge government for in Nigeria is the fact that when you get to our airport, there's no leaflet that talks about Nigeria. And when you get to any airport around the world, there are leaflets. There's something I saw in Osaka airport in Japan. It was going to rain, and then they line up umbrella. This umbrella has images of different destinations in Osaka. And you are not meant to take the umbrella away. So you use the umbrella to go into your taxi. But when you are going and you are looking into the umbrella, you are looking at different destinations. The marketing is seamless. And as you come into the airport, you see all sorts of screens that talks about different destinations. So these are things that we can borrow from around the world. So first question I ask myself is that how do we see ourselves internally? And how are we perceived externally? It is only Nigerians that go online and talk about only in Nigeria. The things we talk about only in Nigeria are negative things. So we demarket this country more than outsiders. When somebody is robbed, the person posts it to say they are robbed. Now, when someone helps you to fix your tire on 3rd Mainland Bridge, you don't post it. So we see ourselves from the negative, not seeing ourselves from the positive. The people that demarket Nigerians the most are Nigerians, you and I. Check it. When your brother do something wrong, and then you post it to say only in Nigeria. No, it happens elsewhere. You don't see people gunning people down on the street in Lagos. But it happens in these Sena crimes that we talk about. Because one of the things that people tell me is that, oh, you can't promote the destination Nigeria because of, what do you call it now? Because of security. But I have friends, white, black, who come here and tell their friends that you have to go to Nigeria. The security issue is a lie. But then you see Nigerian families, their parents died, they live abroad, and they can't come to bury their parents because of security. So we are the ones to first and foremost promote this country. Trust me, I know all of the issues that happen around kidnapping and all of those things. So where are we now in the committee of competing nations? See, I tell people, anytime we say we are the giant of Africa, we are just lying. Everything that makes us giant of Africa are almost gone. One of the biggest things that make us giant of Africa is football. But then, the tourism ministry did not put eye in football because it's not their business. Do you know why? It is the business of the Ministry of Sport. But I tell you, football will promote Nigeria beyond any other thing. Maybe only Nollywood can promote Nigeria more than football. Maybe only Nollywood. Though the biggest brand in Nigeria will shock all of you. The biggest brand in Nigeria is not Dangote. It is not all the multinationals. No. It is religion. So the question we ask ourselves is that where are we? So some of the challenge I have with us is that we struggle to describe who we are. We started from the Heart of Africa. When this was launched, in my mind, the Heart of Africa, and so what? But we are not contented with it as a country, and we quickly move to another thing. We quickly move to Nigeria, good people, great nation. This is the worst thing we have done to the Nigerian brand. See, when a lady says, I'm a lady, you are no longer a lady. We are not supposed to claim that we are good people. See, the more we say we are good people, America released the number of people arrested for fraud, and they put our name there. And then it struggle with the good people. When we say great nation, everybody sitting down here is writing high ELT exam. And you are abusing your brother who now lives in Canada because he has not helped you to leave Nigeria. And then we say great nation. It sounds funny, but the question is, let's ask ourselves, even when we did our 60th, so we lack consistency. And it's important for us to be consistent. Even when we did our 60th anniversary, we could not express Nigeria. All we could say was together. Are we fighting? So when we did this thing and we do together, in my mind, government is talking to Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, so that you will not say Nigerian nation. Because why do you have to then tell everybody that we are together for 60 years? We have been together since 1914. Either the marriage was agreed upon or they forced us to marry each other. So we need to tell the Nigerian story. I tell you, government, you can do this at no cost. Just do a competition. Young people in Nigeria will describe Nigeria. As a matter of fact, they are the one that is describing what happened to me and you now. There's no old people, anybody elderly here that started wearing sneakers on native. You saw it on a young man, and then you jump on it. Yes or yes? So let's allow these guys to describe this country and refuse them from describing it from the point of 419. Because there are great people in this country, but this is not how to promote Nigeria. So I tell anybody, I think our industry is sick. People putting a lot of money into this. One of the things I struggle with in my travel around the world is the fact that how come it is the most expensive place to travel from is Nigeria. So if I'm going to Europe, I will go to London, and I will do Ryanair, $91 to Germany. You have not done it before. Or just go to London and do train to Spain. Traveling in Europe, traveling in the US is cheaper. But when you so I have issue with you people. I said, why is it that ticket from Nigeria is the most expensive? I have a friend The wife lives abroad. So the wife will buy the tickets from there for him to travel, and they get it cheaper. So one day I was traveling, I said, can you help me? So maybe you should buy it from there. You know, so how do we fix the industry? The first thing to do is to create a global brand out of Nigeria. Because the global brand we have today, if we are not lying and we're sincere with ourselves, the global brand we have today are three. The Redeem, Winners, and Christ Embassy. Do you know why? They have over 100 million members across 200 countries of the world. This is the biggest thing Nigeria has export anywhere in the world. If you know the number of people that come from Zambia, Botswana, to worship at Ikotun, at synagogue, you will understand that the biggest thing we have is religion. That religion is what me and you are always fighting every day. Why must it be religion? Why must it be ethnic? The biggest thing that Italy sold to all of us is Catholic. And they are never ashamed about it. It is only in Nigeria that somebody will question why I'm going to Osho-Oshogbo Festival. Because they say, Jide, you are a Christian. Osho-Oshogbo Festival is fetish. But you can go to that festival in Brazil. What is it called now? At the beach, that same festival, they go inside a house, do all sorts of things, like the same we are doing Orisha, and then the festival starts. And then my wife will always question Halloween. So the kids, they want to buy costume. We ask them, why do you want to buy Halloween costume? Will you buy Shango costume in Nigeria? But we are very fast. So this is the biggest thing we have. So before the last straw give way, what should we do, everybody? The first thing we need to consider before this thing goes away is to look at some lessons from around the world. India, there was nothing about India. People have talked about Dubai. There was nothing about India. And India, at some point, all the offices around the world, they have their own focus. There was spiritual India, cultural India, then unbelievable India. But the government said no. Because the entire world saw India as a sleeping giant, and they want it to be the strong elephant that they have. So they decided to create what they call Incredible India. And they've run this campaign for how long? I don't know if anybody remember. This campaign has been for more than 10 years. Recently in September, they appointed Amta Bashab to be the ambassador for the campaign. So the question is, in those years, we have moved from great people, great nation, to together, to whatever it is. They claim tricycle, Marwa, because they own it. They created their own King Cross. So everything about them, they showcases. Before I go see that, my question is, how do we reset? For us to reset, we need to look at the Nigerian brand. What product are we selling? How do we position it? What is the personality of an average Nigerian? You know, so how do we become distinctive? How does Nigeria become convincing to people? One of the things is pricing. There is nowhere in the world. I went to a city in Switzerland. I remember the name, Basel. They sell that 1 liter of water. That 1 liter of water, that ever water, 1 liter, at $8. And I tried to do the calculation. Let's even say $1 at 400. How much does that come to? Sir. So I will buy 1 liter of water. God bless a friend. Tunji Awonusi. Tunji just said, guys, we'll do a train, 15 minutes, and we're in Germany. We went to Germany to buy water. How much is 1 liter of, Daddy, God will bless you. Let me talk like an Ibadan man. See, we don't realize how, let me not use the word cheap for Nigeria. Nigeria is too premium. How affordable Nigeria is. Nobody knows. I agree with you when you complain about the cost of our hotel. maybe yes or maybe no. But if you're able to search for hotel very well. So when I go to Abuja, I don't do any of those hotels that you know. They are good hotels, pocket friendly. I tell you, nowhere in Paris you can get any pocket friendly hotel. We had a conference in Amsterdam and we're trying to then look for hotels around that is affordable. After turning up and down, checking internet, we came back to that $250 per night. And then you go for breakfast, you're like, kilo serve for me, right? But if it happens in Nigeria, you will post it. You will even do video. Some of you will shake way for them. So we need to help this country. And this is us. We'll talk about government later, what government can do. So there's urgent need to invest in infrastructure. What government needs to do for us is to invest in infrastructure to support whatever brand promise we have. Because to get to where that, the hot and cold water, Ikogosi, is not friendly. Even the road that leads to an Ijesha waterfall is not okay. The same for Gurara Falls. So the branding needs a high dose of professionalism. See, and without disrespect to anybody doing journalism or anybody in the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Information, let's get professional who knows this thing to help us cook it. The global brands, America, everyone, they give their business to their best of advertising hands. And the competition is very high. The pitch for it is huge. Here, we don't even hear about it. The next thing we just hear that somebody is in Aso Rock unveiling the thing. And when they finish unveiling, you just say, ha. And then somebody say, we know you are good, Jide, but you need to know the minister. And then somebody say, no, it's actually the chief of staff that you have to know to promote your country. It shouldn't be. So let's ask ourselves, Lagos State Tourism Board, let's give them an assignment. Decide, how do you want to promote Lagos? Is it the bridge? Is it National Theatre? Is it the traffic? You know? Is it Eremeta? And I have problem with this Eremeta. Why is it that Lagos State government is moving it everywhere? Do you know how many times they have moved this thing? Daddy, they have moved, they are moving forward. This one, I was very angry with the government when they moved this thing from Allen. Because Allen Roundabout was huge. There's a lot of history around Allen Roundabout. You know, there's nothing like Allen Roundabout again. If we're careful, forget whatever you are seeing there, you will leave it because Allen Roundabout have an history. That history is gone today. So let's try to call it Allen Junction. But it's not working. All of us are still calling it Allen Roundabout. So when we move these things away from there, and then we take them to very obscure space, and you know the bad thing about these things, we don't make our icons accessible. Let's talk to the government. You can't stand where they put this thing at Coca-Cola to take picture. But let's imagine that this thing is standing at the car park in Ikeja Mall. Or this is standing in front of TBS. How much promotion will it get? It will get huge promotion, but our icons, this is the worst of icons. Nobody has something good like this. I've not seen any country have something good like this. But guess what? I've been arrested here before for taking picture. Oh, you are my fellow convict. Why will police ask me, you know what? I beg the driver, sir, I've never taken picture at this place before. Allow me. And then we went there and they said, why will you enter here? And they said it's a no-go area. The icon that represents us is a no-go area. And that is why I'm always asking us, how come I can stand in front of White House and take picture? I can stand at number 10 Downing Street and take picture. Well, I don't know what Aso Rock look like. I don't even want to enter. All I want is stand somewhere and take picture and send it to my friends who have run away and say, this is. Thank you very much. So there are things, see, and you know the bad thing, that thing that we have done at Federal makes it difficult for you to go in front of Lagos House and take picture. The number of police serve. And when they kidnap us, these police are there. So we need to make some of these things more accessible. It will create a lot of talkability. In media, we talk about own media and hen media. The biggest media is the one you hen, that you don't pay for. Release the video. Don't put advert on their video. It is negative. I mean, Nigerians will help you promote it. It is hen media. And we get a lot of hen media for some of these things. Okay, I'm going to show, when you go to, this is the Louvre in Paris. I remember somebody telling me, when you get to Paris, and I've been there countless times, that, did you take a picture at the Louvre? I said, yes. I said, did you put your hand on top? I said, no. I said, how come? People of God, I went back to put my hand on top. Ask me, what do they do inside this Louvre? I don't know. But it's important for you to go in front of the Louvre when you go to, there are 3 places in Paris. Sean LFC, permit me, I might not pronounce it well. Where do you have that hack like this? Huh? God bless you. So there's that roundabout is called Sean LFC. You can go underneath and all that. Then you go to Eiffel Tower. But you have to go to the Louvre. There's another place, the Bridge of Love. So the two of you fall in love, and you go and put padlock and Demo Arakiri in France. And the two of you come back to Ikere-Ekiti. Somebody created that. Are you telling me that we cannot create that in Ibadan? I will tell you today, when they were asking your favorite tourist destination, my favorite tourist destination is Boas Towers. Boas Towers is my favorite destination. It gives me an opportunity to see the entire city of Ibadan, my city. But if I ask you, how many of us seated here know Boas Towers? Raise your hand. If you don't know that, you will not know. Let me tell you about Boas Towers. So Boas Towers is even around my house. I'm from Bere. I'm from Itabale, Daddy. Italiafa, Labino, Beruka, Ojagbo. Please, we'll do family meeting after this. So, when you go to Kilon Poruko Daddy, you go up to Boas Towers. When they say Ibadan Lomo, Omo, Laipo, Boas Towers is the meaning of Laipo. So, it has these spiral stairs. So you climb the spiral stairs to go up. To enter Boas Towers is 500 naira. If you are many, eto like 4, give that Baba the same 500 or 1,000. It will open the thing. The only problem you have is that when you are going into Boas Towers, you need broom or something to clear the cobwebs. And on top of Boas Towers, you can see the entire Ibadan. When all of you market Ibadan now, you market, people should go by train. You don't go to Boas Towers. There is nothing bigger than Boas Towers in Ibadan. You will stand on Boas Towers and see our city, the biggest city in West Africa, the pace-setter city, that city that has no the only city with a food identity that cannot be competed for. Amala Gbegiri, Ewedu. I saw a story of somebody writing the story of Amala Gbegiri, and I fell in love. But we don't do that. So instead of promoting Amala, we are still promoting the one that somebody is fighting with and say Ghana Jollof is better than it. Even the Jollof, we are not promoting it enough. Is there a Jollof carnival? Has anybody thought about it? And then bring chefs around the world to come and compete to cook our jollof and call it Jollof Carnival. Toya Arulo, when he became Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Oyo State, he started Amala Day, and it was wonderful. After he left government, nobody has touched it. And then we want to promote Nigeria. See, I went on this thing in 2000 and, what's it called now? On this, it's called, it's in Amsterdam. There is how many story now? Maybe 100 story. Then you now go on the swing. So when you swing, your leg will be neater like this. And then you swing back. $100 to attempt to die. People of God, on the queue, I was number 67 as a Niger boy, and we are like 8 or 10. Only 2 of us wanted to do the thing. I just went to the person, number 5, please, our flight will soon go. We need to go up. And then people who saw me on the queue saw me up there, flinging the cigarette. Well, okay, I'm a Lagos boy. It is one of those things that we can sell to the world. We are daring. We are adventurous. So I will not do now stay there. You know, this is the most cherished picture of my family. Every time these guys talk about it, they want to go back. And my question is, what is in that island? Nothing. And the food on that island is expensive. I wanted to cry. It was very expensive. But it's one thing that is there, to take picture and back. Statue of Liberty. Now they have introduced another one. If you want to go and look out from the height of that statue, when I saw the price, I told the children, I said, you have done well here. See, where do I take picture in Lagos? Dress, agbada, like Owambe, and they just take my picture. We go to Dubai and pay for this thing. But then we have not introduced it here. They are very, very old photographer is where you go there and they give you that Hausa clothes. But we can have a photographer set up to showcase every tribe of Nigeria. You come in there, you take the picture. This is big in Dubai. See, they baptized Jesus here. I went there to do baptism again. That water is dirty, God. And I love Jordan. Jordan is amazing. But that water is dirty. If you go to Paris and you don't have this picture, you have never been to Paris. So my question is, where is that place that if you had not snapped picture there in Nigeria, you have never been to? We don't even have this icon of I love Lagos. Let's give it something. We don't. Cape Town, they are selling one thing, this waterfront. This waterfront called Tobito CMSO, and the waterfront is very big. See, you can access Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana. These are pictures of lifetime for my family. And then, before I forget, you can stand, whether Donald Trump like it or not, you can stand in front of White House. Allow me stand in front of the government house in Lagos. I'm from Ibadan. Create a space where I can stand at Agodi and say, this is government house behind me. In fact, police will arrest you. What are you looking for? Now, this one is very annoying for me. You go to Soweto, and then you pay for Mandela slept here. He pee here. He wee here. Mandela hit here. Where is Nnamdi Azikwe's house? Guess what? So my wife is from Ikene. When you go to Ikene, to access Awolowo house, it's like JAM of 1994. So maybe government can partner with the Awolowo family and then take it over from them, make it easy. See, as a group, for us to enter Awolowo house, we will write a letter. No, you have not done it before. So it's not a place you can just go. But when you go here, Mandela House, the crowd is huge. So the only path to profitable growth may lie in companies' ability to get its loyal customer to become the marketing department. We have to get all Nigerians to market Nigeria. And government needs to give us something to market. See, our guests can market this country, sir. It's very simple. With their neck and selfie, they will post it. If they see the place to post. There's an event center in Ikeja now called White House, White Stone. If you see the way people are taking picture there, it's to showcase the place. These assets, some people are selling it for gold around the world now. This spice. They are making the money that me and you are supposed to be making. Federal government of Nigeria can be selling this spice for $2 in Calgary. They can sell it for $2 in London. So the people Oyinbo that are making a kill will get them out of business. And it's a way to promote this country. So what do we need to do? See, give us something like this in Abuja, sir. Let's have this thing in Abuja. For Lagos, we want something they say, this is Lagos. We want another one, last Gidi. In fact, we begin to do Ikorodu, Ikeja, Agege gang. So we need some of these things if we want to market this country. I love Beirut. This I love Beirut. It's in a mall, and it's so nice. So I created something so that we are not just talking. Sorry. Do we know this place? So 2018 or so, we're going for Buckner's service after the lady died with Alibaba. So we're walking from that behind Zenith Bank. There was traffic. We wanted to come out to Eco Hotel. If you remember that corner, they call it Lagos State Ministry of Environment, blah, blah, blah. There is a canal there. This is what it looks like. It has looked like that today. So I'm going to put a copyright on this and ask government to come and partner with me. We'll call it holographic pond. What we're going to do, we'll put glass, put fish pond and all of those things. It's going to be holographic. So we can sell space for people to sell coffee, to sell shawarma, sell ofada rice, sell whatever. And we'll turn that place around. If you pass that place at night, they will rob you. If we turn it to this, what will happen? So this is another tourist destination. So we are not just talking. We have ideas of what we can do with these places. See that Tinubu Square? We can turn it around. Forget that water. We have enough water for. We don't want another one around the road. So those are the things we think government can do. In closing, so let's do something to this place. Even if you don't want us to watch movie there again, create something there. So, now, when people have this, there must be something they are doing on the other side. There must be something they are doing here. There must be something that you cannot get elsewhere except when you get here. See, content is this traffic. Can we begin to promote it? It's difficult to get this anywhere around the world. And it's free. This is in Beirut. So it's called the Eagle Rock. You will go stand there and take picture. You can create it. My video is not playing, but I did this in Mauritius. Mauritius does not have as much water as Lagos, but they have all sorts of water sports that you can do on that thing. I wish my video plays, that you can see how this thing takes you up, bring you down, and all that. $200. What if there is accommodation at Erinjesha Waterfall? Has anybody thought about it? So all Osun State government need to do is to give us the land, partner, and then we can build. So when there is accommodation at Erinjesha, you will see more traffic. This place is called Gurara Falls. Gurara Falls is amazing, but it is just there, nothing more. And this Ogbunike cave, what is attraction in Ogbunike cave? Because you go under there, come out, and but if there's something gigantic there, if there is there's this hang gliding thing, it's like a balloon, you can go in there and be flying. If it is outside there, so you come to the cave, but you can have other experience around there. I did hang gliding, and we can do this from, what's it called, Idonre Hill. My video is not playing, you would have seen it. You do the hang gliding and then you fly. The Idonre Hill is bigger than that place. Even in Ibadan, we are not talking about the rusty roof. If we are not careful, government, when people develop their house, there will be nothing like rusty roof again. So are we going to create a rusty roof what do you call this thing now? Roof that people can buy. You change the old one, but it will still be rusty roof that is new. So that we can keep that identity of the rusty roof. Because it will not take time before this will go away. Now, we need to now begin to create destination program. Nigerian Travel Week. Government has supported this, and we thank you so much, sir. They have to put it globally. People must know and come for the Nigerian Travel Week. More than 15 Nigeria were at the Halifax Security Forum. We saw it. And Lagos Marathon is good for us. Lagos Marathon is good. Can we then begin to have Ado Music Festival? Can we begin to have something for each of the city? Every city must own something. See, before they bring all the horses out, is it in Kano or where do they do the Doba? Let's have like 2-3 weeks to come and learn how to ride a horse. So that the day they bring the horse out, I can go there and also ride. Guess what we did with this one? The wedding party, destination Dubai. We promoted Dubai for them. So, how are we promoting our country? Let me quickly ask, did anybody know a city that was promoted in this movie? They were talking about the city. Anybody remember? Let me remind us. So this guy is saying that when I win the money, I will use the money to go to somewhere. You didn't remember? So it was deliberate. He said, when I win, I will take my family to Jeju Island. I'm privileged to have been to Jeju Island before. Amazing place. So the Jeju Island Tourism Board put money behind this movie. It was deliberate. So how do we do a movie and begin to talk about Enugu in that movie? They said, Squid Game, what would player 067 do on Jeju Island? So they changed their website after the movie came out. And then they now started telling people that player 067, if she gets to Jeju Island, these are the things she can do at Jeju Island. They increased traffic to Jeju Island. Between the movie came out and now, Jeju Island is getting more traffic than Seoul. So that is the much thing we can do. And I'm closing on this to say, to promote this country, sir, we need a national carrier. You know what the national carrier will do for us? I don't know how many of you fly Askai. You can be going anywhere. Askai will first take you to Lume. If you are so unfortunate and you fly down with that paka, whatever, your hair will almost finish before you get there. So you can't fly ET without stopping in Addis. We need an airline that will make people stop in Nigeria so that we can be a hub. But sir, not with this airport, though, we have to do something. Because have you asked yourself before that if you have a stopover 4 hours at Muritala, what will happen to your life? No, on a serious note, madam, what will you do? Have 8 hours in Charles de Gaulle, in Skipo, you are fine. You cannot even finish exploring everything. So we need that. It's no longer survival of the fittest. It is the strongest of the species. It is not the strongest that survive. It is those who are most responsive to change. There are changes going on around the world. How are we as a people responding to it? We're not responding to it. You can't go in front of National Assembly in Abuja and take picture because we are not responding to change. We will continue to wait for a good destination like this if we don't change. We need to change. If we don't change, you know those guys waiting, the flight has not taken off from where it's coming from. So for us to change our story so that we are not waiting like this, the ministry needs to gather people in this hall, sit down and say, how do we promote destinations in Nigeria? Have you heard about people going to Calabar recently? People have stopped. When last did you do a tour to Calabar? And what happened to all of those things that Donald Duke did? What do you call that place? Tinapa. Tinapa is dead. Ministry of Tourism, the Tourism Development Council, will take it up from them and save our face. And then people in this room will get job. People who are sitting at home will get job and will bring life into that place. So that is what we need to do. You know, you go to Turkey and wear their clothes to take picture and you pay. You know, the funny thing is that I don't like, my wife feels like, oh, you don't have to do exchange. I have to do exchange. $5 is how much first? You know, and before they take the picture, they say, can I remove it? But you cannot. So let's create a better story for Nigeria. I'll close with this insurance company. They are creating a story. Somebody said from birth to death. Another person said from basket to casket. They changed it from for her to funeral. And they changed from cradle to grave, from the womb to the tomb. Does this say what an insurance company does? But we can tell the story better if we are careful. From sperm to worm. But somebody came and said we can tell a better story. And he came up with this caption. From erection to resurrection. Let us tell the Nigerian story very well. Thank you for listening, and I wish us well.
Please, let's celebrate Jide one more time. You know, when he was coming up, somebody asked me, have you had him before? I said several times. He will start slowly. Before you know it, you start to get the gist. And before you know it, you don't want him to get off the stage. One more time, let's celebrate Mr. Adeyemi. We need to quickly run to the next program because of time. We have some very big men here, and we want them to do walk around of the stand. But before we do that, I want us to quickly do this next session. Inbound business, tourist numbers to Nigeria are one of the highest on the continent. Ironically, Nigeria has one of the lowest tourism spends. What is pleasure tourism? How can pleasure tourism impact our tourism or the spend numbers? How can business tourism be converted to pleasure tourism? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme or title of the next session that we want to have right now is Business to Pleasure, Ideas to Increase Tourism Spend in Destination. And without further ado, I'd like to quickly call on stage our panelists. We have most of them here. It gives me great pleasure to invite quickly to the stage. She was one-time SA to Lagos State Government on Tourism, Arts and Culture. She's a beautiful woman. She was involved in the grading that Lagos State did. Please help me warmly celebrate and welcome to the stage Aduke Gomez. I should have welcomed and celebrated him earlier, but since he's coming up here as the current president of SCAL International. Welcome, just take any seat, man. Just pick, yes, you're the first person, so pick any seat. Celebrate her, celebrate her. You need to see her around her kids. She's so warm. She takes them out and, you know, I just love you. God bless you, man. I love you too, yes. He's the current president of SCAL International Lagos. He's my brother, my friend, former Oga at British Airways. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Ademola Sawyer. Now, this lady probably thinks I don't know her, but her beauty tells her story. She runs what they call the 36 destination. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage Aisha Ibrahim. Celebrate her, please. Celebrate her. She comes off stage. Now, there's a young lady that will be joining us through, you're welcome, please look at the stage. Now, that will be joining us, Spike, what do they call this? Skype or Zoom. She's my sister, lovely lady. I don't understand that, but she said to me, Uncle, I'm going to be spending my life in advisory capacity, making sure people understand this business very well. Her name is Adun Okukwe. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me celebrate her. She will join us very soon. She's going to be joining us, Dr. Adun Okukwe. She's the MDC of Red Clay Advisory. Yes. I don't know whether Prince Adetunji Femi Fadino is here. Are you here? Oh, sorry, sir. Please help me celebrate this man. I called him earlier on. He's the chairman of Awori Tourism. Celebrate him as he comes up. Welcome, sir. We celebrate you. We appreciate the fact that you've decided to spend this day with us. We know you're going to share your wisdom with us, and we're looking forward to the things you're going to share with us. Please welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome, sir. Now, before we go into this session, NDDC has got a video that they want to share with us. Tunji had challenged us and said, we need to do certain things. Work is going on. One of the things, or some of the things that is being done, you will see today. So in course of this session or this day, we're going to be playing certain videos from NDDC. So before we start the session, just look at the screen as you view this video from NDDC. Let's celebrate Nigeria. Let's celebrate Nigeria. Now, what I try to do whenever we have guests from outside Nigeria, I look at their eyes and I just want to gauge the feeling. You know, when you see something all the time, you really don't know how beautiful that thing is. So I would normally, when my friends come, I'll look at their eyes and I'll be looking at the way they're admiring Nigeria. And it is from them that I'm able to convince myself that that beauty that I see about Nigeria is truly true. A lot of them that have been to Abuja will say, wow, this is such a lovely place. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a beautiful country. And you're very beautiful people. Celebrate yourself. Now, what I would want us to do with this session is let's introduce ourselves first, just slightly, then I'll take the questions and we'll roll. Just short.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ademola Sonya. I had a sting. Let me say I had about a 30 years sting in British Airways. I am currently the president of SCAL Lagos. We're a club that exists in about 99 countries around the world. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. I am the co-founder of 36 Destinations Nigeria. It's an up-and-coming travel marketplace. What the DG said about using technology and what the previous traveler talked about in terms of putting together all your experiences on one platform. So that is what it's supposed to do, linking travelers with service providers. So I really am very grateful to be here today.
Thank you so much. Sorry, ma, before you go on. Exhibitors, we beg you, exhibitors, you're disturbing us with the noise. Like we said, you're supposed to be part of this session. So please keep it very low. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Aduke Gomez, and I run a company called Exor Resources, which focuses on the heritage and telling stories about Lagos.
Good afternoon. My name is Prince Adetunji Fadina. I have actually been in tourism for over 25 years, owner of Jetro Tours, and I decided to do a domestic product by developing Awori Tourism. I am an Awori Prince. My father was a late Olota Ofota. That's why I enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll start with you, sir. According to the MasterCard 2018, there's an index that talks about the fact that Lagos State had 1.5 million visitors in 2018. However, we recorded one of the lowest tourist spending in the continent at only $57 per day. What is the implication of such a low tourist spending? Why do people spend less in Nigeria? And we are the biggest spenders in the world. Everywhere we go, Nigerians are the ones spending money. Why don't people spend money in Nigeria? What are we not doing right?
Well, first, I don't know whether the statistics is right, because if you have to look at the statistics, you have to get right. Are we spending well in Nigeria? Yes, we have. But the problem I will, like the brand guy actually put across just now, is how you actually present your product and how you, majority of the people who have their products, and how do they give it to the, like if you look at a hotel, you look at all other brands that are here, they're doing fantastically well. So if I am to say that I will query that statistics, I didn't want to actually stretch it.
Okay, all right. He says they will query the statistics. You feel that people are spending here, we're making good money. All right, fantastic. Now, I want to go to you, ma'am. The idea is we want to talk money. because we feel in Nigeria Travel Week that the reason why tourism is not at the level that it ought to be is because people are not getting the kind of remuneration they ought to be getting from the space. So we want to tap into your knowledge. How can we position ourselves as a country to attract more money into that space? Tourism, how can we ensure that when people come here, they just want to buy this, they want to buy leke, they want to buy adire, they want to buy this. How do we position ourselves such that people who come into Nigeria can spend money so that the money can spread and the tourism industry can continue to develop?
I think I'd like to start at the beginning. Data. How somebody comes in and stays at Echo Hotel, where do they get the information on what they can do? Where can they go? How can they get there? If you don't have a friend in Lagos, you can't find any information anywhere. So you come in, you stay in your hotel, oh, great hotel, pool, you buy your things, if you happen to be in a hotel that has a souvenir shop. But you go on the internet, say, oh, I fancy going somewhere. Okay, I look, how do you get there? Do you trust the Bolt? Do you trust the Uber? They've told you, oh, this is such a dangerous city. Oh my God. Are you going to go? We need to find the data. There has to be at the airport to know how many people are coming in as tourists. And those tourists are two types. There's the business travel tourists and there are the diaspora returnees. How do you track both lines? Because both are coming for two different things. And to your earlier question, which wasn't to me, people can't spend what they don't find to buy. People will come in, they have their money, but if it's not in their front, if there are no papers at the airport, if there's no information, if there's no information on shops, if there isn't information about where can I go to eat traditional Nigerian food, where are the safe places to go, where can I just go and have fun? Because the thing we do as Nigerians, we like parties. Parties are entertainment. But apart from that, what do we do to entertain people? You can't go to a party if you're not invited. So I think it starts with data, information, and making that information about the things to do, the things that are available to do, accessible to the public.
No, sorry, ma, I just want to take you on. I know in Ghana, for instance, there is people who organize tourists to go to other people's burial. You know, they package burial. They believe that the white people love to go to African burials. So they're looking at a wedding. They'll come and talk to you that, please, so we have like 5, 6 stories. So they want to come to your party. We just want them to have an experience and all of that. Maybe those are the kind of things we also need to look at in Nigeria, because we have a lot of parties and it's a product that we could look at, because I know they do it in Ghana.
I don't think you could take that further. Instead of imposing on somebody's private party. I know, for instance, in Ireland, they have Irish parties are Céilís, and they have organized Céilí parties. They have organized pub walking tours. There could be, come to a party. You know, you can choose. Do you want to be on the groom side? Do you want to be on the bride side? And then there could be organized parties, because there's no party like a Nigerian party, really. But again, we actually, I think the thing about us as people is that we don't actually understand how unique we are. We don't actually appreciate our culture. We don't appreciate our food. We don't appreciate the clothes, because we wear them. We wear them. We live our culture. We are not apart from our culture, so we don't think it's actually so special because, hey, I wear it every day. So we don't actually understand that because it is so special, people who are coming from other parts of the world will actually be in awe of what we have, because we have become almost, I don't know, blasé. We don't actually see it for the special and unique thing that it is. And so I think that we ourselves have to look within, appreciate how special and unique we have, and the kind of things we have to show the world, and understand that we have things that people will want to come and see and will want to pay for.
Thank you so much, ma'am. When the director was talking, he talked about technology, the need for us to embrace technology, the need for us to look at the normal way or the proper way that people now look at tourism. That is your space. Can you please talk to us on how best, and in those little, because one of the things that I've observed in Nigeria is whenever we want to look at things, we look at it from the gigantic, big angle. In what little ways can we start to introduce information technology into building tourism in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. If I can answer your question with one word, I'll just say Instagram and then drop the mic, but I'll expand on that. Right now, we have various social media platforms, just as a way to give you examples. And Instagram started off as a platform to basically, share your life experience, your journey, whether it was you were working, whether you were traveling. But Instagram has turned people, their intellectual property, into brands. They've turned destinations into iconic destinations. They've marketed countries. So, and then there's the shopping aspect, the commercial and commerce aspect of it. So with my business, for instance, what I started doing was using Instagram as a way to reach people, to show them that this is what Nigeria actually has to offer. So when I moved back from doing my master's, I was posting things like Wiki Warm Springs, and among the top comments was, are you in Jamaica? Are you in the Bahamas? The water is very beautiful, it's clear, but where exactly are you? And I just say, I'm in Bauchi State. And people now start scrambling, where is Bauchi State in Nigeria? In Bauchi State specifically, where is it? They started asking me questions like, how far is it from does Bauchi have an airport? How far away is it from the airport? Is it safe? And I realized I was just providing this advice to people, but it was basically coming in fragmented ways. So the platform, not to promote myself, but the platform was created to kind of provide this access to information and to showcase what is actually available. So looking at the target group, who you really want to travel or who is currently traveling now, and using the platform that appeals to them. So I think that's the solution. So going back to that, there are so many new drivers of tourism today. And I had to do this research. So again, I'm a newbie in the industry. So typically when I came in, I wanted to meet with government officials. I wanted to meet with the big tour operators and agencies. But then I found that there were new hike groups that were actually going to hike in different states in the country. And that's one way of promoting tourism. Then I found out there were fashion designers who were always looking for a place to kind of have photo shoots. Then there were also bike groups, all these bike riders. My mom used to call them gang riders. But I was like, no, they would actually take bike rides around the country. I know someone who has literally covered the entire Nigeria on a bike. And this is, different ways tourism can be promoted. So I think for me is like looking at the non-traditional marketing ways. The advert we have for Tour Nigeria is exceptional. I know this one was specifically focused on Abuja. I think we need more of that. We need it when we're coming down, from the airport, from the airplane, and you're in line for immigration. We need it on our social media, but we also need to look at what young people are putting out there. If you do hashtag Explore Nigeria or Travel Nigeria, or you follow certain hike groups, you'll be fascinated to see what people are actually putting out there. There are also drone pilots. I think there's this huge wave of drone pilots in Nigeria. They have imagery, aerial imagery of the country or specific locations. So I think those are like new contents and new ways that technology, social media platforms can actually promote and showcase tourism. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It seemed like the DG's got something that he wants to share with us, so you have the floor.
Sorry, I'm back up here again. I just heard some things. I I was listening to some things that were being said on this stage. Whether I like it or not, I'm a part of this event, and there's a need for some correction. Earlier on, I said I was raised on pen and paper. I now communicate and do almost all my work through this. If you go to any city in the world, before you get there, the images of that city, what you're going to do there, the dangers to you in that city are communicated to you digitally. It's not paper. Anybody who is still talking about pen and paper in 2021 in terms of the tourism ecosystem, you need to get with some of the young, brilliant people. Instagram, for example, it's pretty much free unless you're paying for adverts. We put so much stuff out there on Tour Nigeria, on Nigerian flavors, around the country. Sheson Ogunro of Film Factory that makes Wizkid's videos made that video. It is targeted at a particular segment of the demography. And domestic tourism is 6 times international tourism. What is international tourism? You buy a ticket, you go to Dubai. What you enjoy in Dubai is local to Dubai. It's what the people in Dubai have been putting their money and their energy into. You're an international tourist by just taking a ticket to go there. In 2015, I said the digital revolution is something we must harness. I said it's about domestic tourism. It's the bars, the restaurants, the food. And I tell you something, if you have the energy to open one of these events, one of these establishments, you will market. Exhibition Center, can you please keep the noise down? Thank you. You will market. If you market, you have a digital identity. If you don't have a digital identity, let me even tell you how far it goes. The US Embassy Googles you before they give you a visa. Before you get a job in most civilized countries now, they will look at your social media. If you look at your US Embassy form, they ask for your Instagram, your Facebook, every email address you've ever had. If you don't have a digital identity, you're nobody. Now, you cannot now tell me that the digital revolution is something that we must ignore and return to pen and paper at airports. There's nothing I want to do in find online. There's nothing I want to do in Abuja I cannot find online. I'm going to Madrid in a few days. I don't even, between my house and the airport, I will research the critical things I need to do. There are Nigerian platforms that give so much information about hotels, where they are. They will take photographs, they will show you route maps, you can book to get, you can book a room without even paying. Most countries don't even allow that. Now, you cannot now say that we are archaic. Where's Mr. Big and Bold? I hope he hasn't left. I love the concepts that he has floated. But they do already exist in Nigeria. They're just not being publicized by the owners of the assets. It is not my responsibility to publicize your private sector entity business. It is my responsibility to make it easier for you to maybe open those establishments, to maybe not charge you as many taxes as they're currently charging, to make you get free Google marketing training or Facebook marketing training, to get you certifications. All the countries we're competing with, tourism is private sector driven, but government enabled. So the government side of it, to enable you to do the best of, do the best you can with what you have, the digital revolution is here to serve you. Remember Kodak. Remember Kodak, the camera. Remember Polaroid, the camera. Remember the recording machine. Remember video cameras. This thing has killed them all in 1 decade. Now that is the power of this thing in your hands. A photograph of this room that I've taken here, I've sent it to Abuja. It is being put on Tour Nigeria Story. Well, I don't know, 30,000 people are seeing it, and if anybody forwards it and forwards it and forwards it, that is the reality that we must embrace. Or else, if we're still talking paper, we have a problem. We have a complete digital disconnect with what we need to do and where we are. Sorry, I'm taking a bit too much.
Let's celebrate the DG. No, you can sit down, sir. Let's have you. We'll soon be done and we can go on our tour. Demola, there's something on my mind that I want you to work on for us. Most of my friends that comes to Lagos, they would always want to go and shop in Lagos. And when I say Lagos, Mandilas, buy, rappers and all of that. You're very energetic. You're an engineer. You've done business management. What do you think we can do? Oh, okay. Dr. Okugwe we'll get to you soon. She's joined us. Now, what do you think we can do to that place? Because most of them, when they're coming to Lagos, they're looking forward to shopping. They want to buy wrappers, particularly my friends from South Africa. They want to go and buy wrappers. They want to go and buy. The thing is, they don't mind the wala, but I think we can hawk that place a little. I want to tap into your engineering and management skill. What do you think we can do to that space to make it more attractive, to make it more accessible, to make it less, we get them for warehouse, that grabbing and all of that. I don't think that should be part of the package. What do you think, Demola?
Is there any particular location you're referring to?
All through that Broad Street. If you get to Broad Street, you find it difficult to really walk down the road because everybody's grabbing at you and telling you, come and buy this. We get them for warehouse. Don't go to that shop. This is a shop. What can we do to make sure that that place is more organized? Because it's a place a lot of people want to go to because of the plenty things they can buy there.
Thank you very much. There's something we talk about change. Everybody keep referring to change, and change. But change has to be strategic. Change has to be strategic. I grew up in Lagos as a young boy. I think the first suit I bought in Lagos was 75 naira, and I bought it on Broad Street. Yeah? It's a white suit. I can't forget it because I remember the first party I wore it to. My father actually drove me to the party because he didn't want me to stay in that white suit. He was taking over that. You can afford the white suit. Wow. Anyway, but guess what is happening in those corridors that you have just mentioned? There's been change. A lot of buildings are coming up. But before that time, those shops used to be arranged. They were so symmetrical. You could walk through the street of Marina and go to where you want to go to. When you want to give something to someone, when Mr. Adeyemi was talking about it, there's a way you set it out that it will interest the person. And can just mention something. If you come into a place, you want to shop, you need to be able to identify what you want to buy because you're already coming with a thought to buy something. But when it is not laid out well, you can't take advantage of what you want. Now, I have a friend that lives in Antigua, which is in the Caribbean. I've been there a couple of times. And that country has only less than 1.5 million people. That 1.5 million people are slaves that were taken from Africa, from West Africa, precisely, to go and live there by Christopher Columbus. Now, all they sell is the beachfront. Guess what they did? The government insisted nobody can build a house by the beachfront. You must be on the other side of the road so that the beachfront will be open for tourism. Let me ask you a simple question today. What is happening on Oyinkan Abayo? Oyinkan Abayo, Queen's Drive. That was supposed to be a replica of what you have in Malibu. Houses on the left, ocean view on the right. And you can drive on the ocean view. You understand what I'm saying? As of today, all those land has been taken by private people and build their own personal house there. So they have the ocean view, you don't have it anymore. Change has to be strategic. Now, government make policies. Most of us are individuals, SMEs. You want to impact life, you want to impact tourism. When you come into the space of the tourism, but it must be in line with the strategy for the development of that environment. Marina, everybody will be yanking you to come and buy because they don't allow them to set up the store the way they used to set it up. Before, you don't need to go into anybody's store, you just walk along. As you're walking, you will see this fruit, you can see the next one, you can see the next one. Tejo Market. People come to buy art and craft in Tejo Market every time. It's not easy to, even now they've developed the place, but the experts don't go to that market anymore like they used to, if you notice. They don't go into that market like they used to before. But I thought that was a change. I thought that was development. So what I'm saying in essence is there must be a strategy, and the strategy must be followed. But who drives the strategy? The government. But the people who are now coming to invest in that spectrum must be ready to follow the trajectory of the strategy. We cannot all be veering in different directions and doing all sorts. There will be no synergy, and we can't move forward. As of today, who can come from outside Nigeria and buy tickets into Nigeria and buy hotel and buy a tour site and buy event all in one package? Nobody. Is it that you know one person who will do it all for you and go and book them all one by one and put it together as one package? But you cannot just go on the website and book it yourself. And that's what people want to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Edu, can you hear us? Talk to us. I want to ask you a question. Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Oh, fantastic.
Everyone.
Now, I'm sure you just heard what has been talked about.
Yeah.
I want to tap into your advisory knowledge. Now, one of the things I've had problems with is the fact that, so you're taking them around for tours, and nature calls in that area. How do you manage if you don't want to go to Mr. Biggs or those other areas? Is it possible to infuse restrooms and all of these things? Because I know that is your key area. You just want things to work in synergy. I want you to please talk to us, all of us here. How, because that area, that Broad Street area, Isaleko area, is a very strategic area for us. How can we infuse convenience in such a way that when you shop, like Jide said earlier, you just want to spend the whole day there. You're not wanting to just quickly buy what you want to buy and get out of there because you feel that you will need something and you are not going to get it there. What do you think can be done to ensure that we make that place that is, I tell you, a lot of people want to go to Isaleko to shop. What can we do to add to the value proposition in Isaleko? Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Interesting that you asked that question. We're actually running a tour guide training program with LSETF as well as the Lagos State Ministry. And we took the tour guide participants to Isaleko last week. And it was interesting because there's so many things that are happening around that axis. And the key challenge is how do you bring it all together, like you said, and make it into one beautiful experience for the visitor. I think that one of the key areas we need to look at is that we need to understand who the visitors are. So if they're business tourists coming into Lagos or Nigeria from outside the country or from outside the state, then it's important that we are targeting that market. And we're not trying to also be another destination. So I actually feel like the marketplace is one of our key unique points now, because a lot of markets are being eroded around the world. And so it's how do we package that experience to say this experience is A, B, C, or D. And I would say that Ms. Gomez said, and also Demola said, it's important that before you go to take tourists there, it's important that you research the place, have some key people that are already there, some key shops, some key stalls, and even some key homes. So I've been to Spain and I've been to their local, their villages and their markets. They don't have public toilets, not because I don't think it's important to have public toilets, but again, as we're phasing our development, you can connect with some homes and say, you know what, we're going to help you and pay you a certain amount of money, and we'll bring tourists here whenever they come to shop, and then they will be paid tokens for that. So I also believe that we need to be a bit more creative in our approach to tourism, understanding where we currently are now in Nigeria. I really like what the GG also said in terms of technology and seeing how we can fuse them together So how do we also even start to sell these destinations virtually? How do we start to showcase that the market culture, a vibrant one, is beautiful? And I think, like Demola said, even I remember my very first internship job when I was still in uni, and I bought my shirts from the market, and I was so excited because it was that connection to, goodness, this is a new phase of my life. I want to connect to this. I bought it from Dosumu Market, and I remember going back and having all these beautiful shirts that I thought were nice to collect from Lagos. These are the stories that we need to showcase. We don't have to have everything to be perfect and look Western, is my point. So I think that I'll leave you with the thought of phasing, connecting with the local residents, letting the residents understand what it is that you're doing, using what we currently have and bringing it together into a system that flows.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you. I knew that you were just going to hit the nail on the head. I'm sorry, panelists, because of that time. We would have to go round the stands right now. We need to encourage these people. They are partners and supporters. I want you to lead. The DG will lead us. We're going to go to all the stand right now to do like a tour around the stand. We thank you so much for spending time with us today. We really appreciate your contribution. We've learned so much from you. We appreciate you. Doctor, thank you so much. Thank you, Doctor. Please celebrate them, please. Thank you. So, DG, sir, we're going to go around the stands, please. So, exhibitors, we're coming to you. Where is Efe? You need to tell us where we're starting from. Mr. Efe Tobo. Okay. I want you to lead the tour. We're going around the stands. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Exhibitors, we're coming to you now. Please be ready for us. For the rest of us, if you want to stretch your leg for just this few minutes, you can do that right now. The idea is to just give us a short break. So they will do a walk around and you could join them. You can actually join them as well. Let's just take this opportunity to stretch our legs before we go back to the next step. Thank you.
Oh